Hello, welcome back to the GG.Bet New York Invitational. We just had a couple of technical problems, but they should be fixed now because Smuya
back on the server.
Problems, but he's back and we're ready to go. It seems straight away. 3-1. AVANGAR are leading here over Mirage.
For those of you who missed it, Smuya was able to hold on to an op from that previous round, and there he goes. Centaurus is going to net himself a weapon to boot. Just the flurry of chaos here as Tishan drives in. She's going to find Sanji as well. So 3v3 situation, still 2 weapons on board with Big. Definite room here to get something done. Bomb still somewhat committed. Adren's actually going to move forward. They still have 1 player down on site. That's Kicker. Just a little bit unsure whether or not Big have any idea of that, but it seems like Smuya might be expecting somebody to have dropped down. And always have that back of his Centaurs through apps. For now, just waiting. Probably seeing some sort of movement out of AVANGAR, hoping to find that. But actually, with Legia's aggressive move into B apps, he can actually clear this out. So they'll get confirmation once again that this is the case. Smuya gonna go for the silent drop. Actually wins out the duel. Kicker was ready for it. And just like that, bomb drop. James left alone with 30 seconds or so to go. He's got a Molotov, but he still has 2 big players to deal with. Smuya's still on that op. Legia can just peek up to get information from stairs and not really take the duel. Already gotten the information he needs.
James is going to fall. Smuya is back and he's got 3 kills. So certainly a good way to step right back into it. It is going to be 3-2 with AVANGAR still leading, but that's not exactly the type of run they would want to be losing.
Definitely not. That was meant to be the easier one for AVANGAR to extend their lead, and they were looking pretty solid before we had that technical issue. Smuya doing a great job. Centaurus as well, finding that first kill into Buster in apps. Turns everything halt. AVANGAR wanted to do into a halt. We're still going to buy into this, though. It's not the greatest of buys. 3 rifles. A little bit of utility left still after getting mid-control. Well, actually, I say getting mid-control. They haven't moved into it. Smuya is going to be out in mid still while the smoke dissipates. So all the utility that AVANGAR have used up to this point has really been for nothing. There we go. Smuya's going to take full advantage of it once the smoke is out. He doesn't really need to re-aggress here either. Oh, does go back for more off the back of the taps and flash, and it's a second kill as well. 2 for 2 so far in this round. And AVANGAR hand forced here. Legia drops down an aggressive smoke. That's going to be a bit of an issue for AVANGAR. They might want to wait that out. They still have the time for it. They still have some utility left. 2 Molotovs, 2 flashes, and a smoke. This should be a pretty telegraphed move of where they're headed.
Legia, that should have been a kill, I have to say. That position was looking strong for him, but he falls away. And he'll pick up the kill and kick it with Smuya stepping in as well. Jim finally answers back, but he has to get 4 more. And well, Centaurus is there. And it feels like Big is starting to ramp up the individuals, which is a scary sign. Yeah,
Smuya with 6 kills in 2 rounds now. So him being able to hold on to that op in the previous round was really, really valuable for them. And it's gotten them back to equal numbers. 3-3, and also an AVANGAR team that can't afford to really reinvest into this. So far we've seen, I guess, enough aggressive purchases from AVANGAR that James has not been able to get to an op. We know how much he can do for his team with that in hand. Obviously, they saw the opportunity of potentially breaking the economy of Big there. Wanted to see what they can do with it.
Well, this one should be a big round in the bag. AVANGAR going to take some early damage onto Sanji, and he's the only player with a deagle, so not exactly the play you want to be losing early.
Absolutely not. But again, in the grand scheme of things, AVANGAR really don't have too much to play with here. They're sitting around in top mid, waiting for hopefully some sort of regression out of Big, but they've decided to play this cool. Not going to roam around for too long. Run boost being set up. Sandy is a bit of early bait. Not really going to pan out too much, but Tab's not a very exposed position. It's going to be found. James actually finding a follow-up on Centaurus, but that's all it's going to amount to, 2 frags. So probably more than what Big were hoping for, and probably more than what they should have given up, but it is, at the very least, a round.
Well, 4-3. Things certainly heating up and looking like it's going to be a close affair between the two teams early here. AVANGAR have a chance to equalize again with the rifles being in their hands. They've got the AKs, they've got the utility in play as well. A little less than that of Big though. And they've only just left spawn the CT side, so they took their time. Buster's ready towards top middle, and there's a player on short, and that is smooya playing with a gap in the smoke. He's going to take damage, and well, that's a slap in the wrist. He's forced away.
Yeah. Buster's one of the players in AVANGAR who's really good at actually dealing with that angle. Whenever people have made the quick jump over towards catwalk. Well, it's not a frag. At least it forces smooya off the position and has him playing a little bit more passive. He's actually rotated up to B apps. Leggy is the one to take over control of a catwalk. And this time with the utility they had, AVANGAR actually got into mid. The problem for them right now is that they don't really have anything else to play off of. They have one smoke and a Molotov on James and a flash on Buster, so they can't really get towards any sort of bomb site and actually set up for a safe plant without getting favorable trades, and that's going to be tough enough as it is. So you've got mid control, but you're not really meeting too much of a contest from Big.
Well, smooya, he ends up here with the AWP, looking down the barrel in towards the apartments. Player waiting there. It's going to be him backing away though. 30 seconds left on this clock. There will be a smoke going in towards the apartments. And smooya, well, keeps falling back with 25 seconds. All he needs to do is delay as AVANGAR coming right into Legia. He's done a good job picking up that first one and just hiding away. The Dren does get the trade, but it's Legia doing great work from the short position. And well, Buster, he'll try his best to try and drop him, but the time is so low. 10 seconds, no chance at winning this. The bomb has to sprint over towards the A bomb site, and Tizi's just here ready for it. That's the bomb on the floor. Job done. AVANGAR will try their best to get a couple of kills here, but the time is already gone. And that's 4 in a row for Big.
That's pretty brutal, but luckily enough with them being stayed alive. We'll have some firepower going into the next round, but highly advised against forcing it behind this on the side of AVANGAR. We're 8 rounds in, or about to be 9 rounds into the game, and we've yet to see James on an op.
And that's something that you don't really see too often for AVANGAR, right? Because they take these setups where they want to take the hit in terms of economy, and they allow James to get the AWP early.
Absolutely, and more often than not, it tends to work out for them. So you can have such big impact with that weapon. Now, Big moving forward. Tizi good for one. Not going to be able to deal with the Dren, though. But nice follow-up nade. Very well done from Centaurs.
Oh.
Ooh, a little bit long, but still does damage to Sanji.
Sanji's been getting hit up the face by these nades time and time again. He's not having a great time of it.
Right now, it doesn't seem like AVANGAR are having a good time of anything. Flash comes out for Pit. It's going to allow for Centaurs to peek. Nobody's showing themselves. That means he repositions. This could be a little bit of an overreaction depending on how heavy they rotate here.
Well, you sit with the bomb. AVANGAR shouldn't really be expected to win this, but we'll see if Big can stop them in their tracks with Centaurs up towards the window. Jim here's him jumping. There's a slight chance that Jim might be able to pick him off with a CZ. They'll fall away with 45 seconds.
Centaur's playing it safe, though. Doesn't want a wide or heavy commit to any sort of position, but James might be still in a position where he could get close enough to actually deal with this, especially if he's got Centaurs looking the other way. He's going to get real close. There we go. One man down, and James can start to create some chaos.
Well, Tabson will drop Jim and spray away, and Buster will take him down, and that will be into a 2v2. Good chance here for AVANGAR, but the time is low. They have to get to the site and get that bomb planted, and well, it's pretty much confirmed they will. Legia doesn't really line that Molotov up too well. It comes back and, well, goes towards CT. It could have been a great Molotov as well. That could have forced Sanji into the open. Well, he has to rely on smooya coming back in from window. With that AWP, time is starting to tick at this point. They need to find a way into it, as Buster will sit on the Tetris position. smooya using the Deagle to check the close angles. They're really running out of time. They're spreading this super thin, and finally information's gathered, but the time is so far gone. They've got to go immediately, and Sanji taking that kill. That's job done. No chance for Big, and And AVANGAR, with a round they really shouldn't have won, to make it happen.
That is definitely one of the weirder ones. AVANGAR stealing away a round they had no business winning. Big, as you said, using so much time on not really getting anything done in that retake.
Well, Stabson off towards middle. Smoke will go in towards underpass. Sanji will continue to move forward. Tabson goes back in towards connector where Zanteres is there. So pretty safe place right now for the T side to seek refuge. Place that might be a little bit more dangerous is middle with Smooya looking on the barrel. Buster is behind the box, so that's keeping him alive at the moment, but look at the timing. He looks away from Sanju, comes in towards underpass, and that Smooya could have found a kill, but unfortunately will not. And has to go back towards the connector. AVANGAR starting to take them in control, and what a shot from Smooya. Full flash, knows the angle, and Jim is out of there.
That's such a big one as well. One of the real heavy hitters on the side of AVANGAR gone. But at the very least, they have gotten some forward positioning in mid. Sanji tucked away in the corner. Also Buster nearing ladder room here. Adrian on the, I guess not that common op in his hands. He's going to miss out on an opportunity as well. If he moves into connector here, he's a dead man. And there we go. So Sanji has actually crept out from his initial position. Oh, Tabson, that's a quick swing around. Buster was definitely not ready for that. He thought he had that frag in the bag. Instead, it's all down to Kicker, 1v3. So while he does find Smooya, not able to deal with Tijian, and he's going to be able to get the op as well. So big bringer right back, much needed as well. And you can tell by the economy of AVANGAR, it's not looking too hot.
Yeah, I think Smooya's done a great job at sort of dispelling Jame. You know, that's a player that can really open up runs for AVANGAR, and if he's just getting wrecked by Smooya, that's certainly a win condition for Big. And they want to build up a CT lead here. Mirage is one of those maps, though. On the T side, if you're a new team, you don't really... It's not too tactical, right? All you need to know is an A execute. If you have that in the bag, at least you have something.
Yeah.
The rest is down to how you take middle. Well, Tizian is going to flash himself out of Underwood, and it's a good chance here to pick up a couple of kills. They're all blind, but he doesn't get a single one. The smokes are causing chaos, and Kicker gets rid of him. It's going to be a two-man advantage for AVANGAR. And this A-bomb site is really the only place they're finding success.
Yeah, and, ooh, all right, then Centaurus was able to find Sanji, but that's after the bomb goes down, so in many ways, mission accomplished for him. He was the one without a weapon as well. All right, damage being done to Adrian. Oh, so close to actually connecting again, but they need to be quicker about this retake. They still have Jame actually lurking about over here on the B-bomb site. Centaurus is doing a damn fine job, but it's taking its time here.
Oh, Defuse coming through though. Kickert has a decent lineup, but the first kill comes in. Defuse still there. Can Legia pull it off? The answer is no, as Kickert saves the team again. And he's the MVP of that one for AVANGAR. He finds that initial kill, stopping Tizian from getting in behind multiple teammates. He then denies the last two players on the bomb side. So Kickert, certainly the hero for AVANGAR there. And as we hit 6-5, Big, well, they got a good chance at... Actually, they're going to go for the fourth. I was going to say you could maybe buy a little bit of a half buy here, leave some money into the bank, have a really solid buy going into the next one, but they've gone for the heavy decision in terms of economics.
Yeah. Well, it probably got tired of AVANGAR finding so much success with their limited buys. Keep in mind, that was not a strong buy they went into that with, and that's 2 in a row they've picked up. Scout shot not going to connect from Legia. Right between the goalposts, but Smooya's gotten aggressive in top mid, and it's at least one frag going their direction. Legia is completely caught out, but Centaurus quick on the rotation. Oh, Kiekert, how did you die? Did you run into your own Molotov?
Well, Sanji with a Mac 10.
Tabson's been spotted.
Santeras and yeah, Tamsin has been spotted. They know he's here. The element of surprise is no longer available to him, but it doesn't matter.
There we go.
He still takes the kill onto Sanji, and the bomb isn't in his possession. 2v1 here. Jim, certainly a player that can pull it off, but Tamsin does damage. Jim still takes the kill, and it's into a 1v1. Tizian up towards the apartments, full HP, and the Deagle comes in. They'll pick up the AWP, and well, the force buy from Big seems to pay off.
Yeah, all the wonky buys are working out here for both sides. It's 2 for AVANGAR. Well, I guess not even a force buy earlier from Big, but obviously the saved off leading into a win earlier on. So right now, both teams struggling to really take advantage of the stellar position that they have. Can't really commit further to it. Right now, you'd have to imagine that there's no chance AVANGAR buys up behind this. So not even the most, I guess, well-off player in Sanji and Buster are going to be able to get AK Kevlar, or like head Kevlar at the very least. So
it's always a scary time when you just haven't got enough money. You're kind of on the brink of, well, we know the other team's economy is low, and we have just enough to get a decent buy. But should we? should we do it? I've never seen this part of Mirage before, I have to say. I think this is CT spawn.
Where's this, though?
This is Palace, behind the little fence.
There you go. The man knows his maps.
It just shows how useless I am if I know all these terrible parts of the map instead of actually concentrating on playing the game properly.
Spending too much time being dead? Is that, that it?
Just kind of looking around.
Just like, ooh, I haven't noticed that before. Seems like a nice little balcony to have for yourself.
Yeah. Good thing is no one's ever at these places, so
that would be, I mean, we've stayed in a hotel on top of a Formula 1 track. That was noisy. I can imagine this being somewhat similar if people are just
shooting below us,
firing off guns all the time.
Well, it will be a Molotov going deep in towards the apartments. It's Lagia trying to get close and personal. Well, James just looked at the right time, and there's the kill. He nearly falls himself, though, surviving on 14 HP.
Yeah. And they've they have decided to buy into this. James actually buying up head Kevlar, then getting dropped an AK so he can actually take the first challenge. Smart usage from AVANGAR's side, but Bigger, again, at a man disadvantage in a round where they should be in a superior state. Smokes go out for connector. Not really going to be any sort of follow-up behind it. 2 smokes left and 2 flashes with the Molotov. So they can still set up for an A-take here. They're still going to be lacking either smokes for jungle, stairs, or spawn. Just no movement on the side of it. This is a pretty risky boost as well. I'm actually going to drop off of it the second he sees any movement. Taps nose, Buster's up in apps. He's got to find the kill as well. Good job. Tizian swings out, not good for a frag though. So again, ground gain for AVANGAR. They try to get the bomb plant down early. That's not going to be possible. Centaurus with the big kill.
It's just so horrible in this position from Kicker. He's desperately trying to find a space to plant the bomb, and when he finally gets it in, Tapson will take his teammate Sanji. Last 2 players are low here on AVANGAR. As Smooth starts to come back in towards the bomb site, time is starting to tick. He'll be looking towards Tetris, but both players have fell back into more passive positions due to the low HP. At this point, Jim is just looking for an avenue of safety. And both players are on the bomb site here from Big. One will tap, and that should be at least a player into the open. Jim has not peeked this, so just got to defuse it. And there we go. Easy as it comes. Jim just looks to his teammate like, what the hell just happened?
Was I meant to go out there?
What happened? Well, there we go. Hit 5. And Big, well, that was a pretty easy retake.
Yeah, I mean, if your opponents are not going to do anything at all, then it does become quite easy. I have no understanding why Jane wouldn't throw himself out there. If you want to be the last, if that's really your dying wish, then at least change position with Kicker so you make it easier for him.
Well, it is going to be a push in towards the A bomb site. Utility coming over the top. Tizian's just going to be standing on default. No one really coming his way just yet. He's desperately looking for a kill though. The flash will go around the corner, and finally Tizian will get his reward. He'll go back in, but this time he's dropped by Jim over the top of the smoke on Tetris, and Tabsence is back towards Ticket Box. Jim trying to get boosted by his teammate, but they missed the first jump, and that might just cost them. They realize that, they fall away. Still a minute and 5 seconds to play with here for a Vanguard, still recoverable. But it's not going to be easy.
It really isn't. One Molotov down to cover up an angle at the very least, but all that's been taken out. Tabson with the aggressive swing on Firebox. It's going to deal with both of them eventually. And at this stage, if AVANGAR have been buying up all the way until this point, now that they actually have loss bonus to work with, surely they'll follow up on that as well. James with an op. Is this the second time throughout the entire half we've seen it?
Yeah, this first time he had it towards top mid, and he had it for about 20 seconds.
That's when he got smashed by Smooth through full flash.
Destroyed his head, yeah.
But it's only been 2 instances throughout the half.
Yeah, and it's been, again, that problem that they've just had enough money to get it by, but not enough to get everything they want.
Not even a real buy. AVANGAR should be lucky to see themselves at 5 rounds, the way it's been going so far.
Yeah, and again, I don't really like to point out poor performances from players, but it's starting to become a very consistent factor that we see it right at the bottom of the scoreboard, which is just so strange to see. Especially with the experience he's got. He went for being major MVP, and you expect walking into a team like a Vanguard from FaZe Clan, that should be a team where he just opens things up completely.
Sure. But again, he did have his struggles on the T side in their first matchup versus Force as well a few days ago. And he did come alive on the CT side. That's one of the big reasons why AVANGAR were able to defend back. Right now, Big are creating a pretty significant advantage for themselves here. Very likely to go to 10 to close out the half. Only Tabson down, and out of the 3 players remaining on AVANGAR, Buster down to 5 HP. So you can sneeze in his direction, and he'll fall over.
Well, the Dren has taken away Tizian. Well, Sanji taking down Smooth as Terry stepping in with 1, but he'll hit the deck as well. And this time it might be around a Vanguard round. They might find themselves 6, and like you said, they'd be very lucky to find themselves on 5. 6 would be extremely lucky. They might as well punch the digits in for the lottery. And it's like, yeah, trying to clutch it out, 1v2.
This is the kind of rounds that, I mean, credit to AVANGAR for finding a way to make it happen, but this shouldn't be happening. Like, he's going to take his time. He's got a lot of angles to clear out. That's the issue. And he doesn't have a smoke either, so he might be able to find Sanji here. Oh, he doesn't actually clear the angle properly. Cool. So somehow they make it back in another round. That's 3 rounds where they've kind of escaped death. Yeah. If you're AVANGAR.
I really do think this could have been an even more one-sided affair.
Absolutely.
Because you have to remember the start that Vanguard got as well was 3-1.
Yeah.
3-0. I think they were 3-0 up.
It's the pistol, right? And then they lose the round versus... No, 2. They won the first, and then the first buy round in round 3 was the one where Big swung back. They immediately respond to that, and then they have the round where Smooth saved it up. He wins it out. Yeah. But outside of that, the rest of the T rounds from AVANGAR have been, well, unexpected, to put it mildly. But at the very least, they're giving themselves a chance here. And once we get into the CT side, we saw versus Force. That was definitely the more comfortable one, at least until Force started abusing that B bomb site.
Well, it will be the bomb getting planted for Big. No real answer from a Vanguard. They're going to play it on retake. They've got a Kit alive on Sanji along. So 2 flashbangs, but Kicker is up on top of the ticket box. He'll look over towards Connector where he'll spot Tizian. And the rest of the shots going whizzing past his head. The CTs just want to get back into the bomb site. They want to try and get this defuse in, and Kicker moves forward, but it's the kills coming in from Big that come on top. Man advantage still there for the Germans. And well, will be a couple of kills coming through finally bust their headshots, and that'll be a second. It's a 2v3 at this point, with Tizian tapping away. Adrenaline low HP, gets one headshot, still the kit alive. But winning this is going to be so difficult, especially when you have no bullets. It's going to be 10-6. AVANGAR do make it close towards the end there, but Big pull through.
They do it in the end, and pardon the pun, big round for Big. They needed to kind of stabilize after the way they lost a fair few of those rounds in the first half. Doing so by winning the pistol is a great way of going about it. Now, assuming, I think it's safe to say that we shouldn't expect to see the, I guess, similar aggressiveness in buys coming in from AVANGAR on the CT side. It's going to be much harder to pull off. You also want that up in the hands of James as quickly as possible. As I said, only 2 rounds really where you got to use it on the entirety of the T half. Right now, AVANGAR going for a good old stack over on the B-bomb site. Sadly for them, though, Big seem to be setting up for pretty standard A-take. Molotovs and smokes fly out, and there's only really 2 players from AVANGAR in position that are going to boost up Kicker. He's got a P2000, so not very likely to do a ton of damage here.
You know, grenade might do a lot of damage, and well, it would have worked if they were still on the boost. Yeah,
would have been perfect.
Head gone.
All that good jazz, but instead, it's just going to be AVANGAR shooing away from the bomb site. I'm actually surprised. Well, so this is something that I guess in theory is a really smart move from AVANGAR, because they haven't really invested anything. So you might be curious as to why they're saving, but now they're at least trying to avoid giving away money to Big, who are rocking at least 2 SMGs. So for you, this is a way to, well,
limit the money that Big have.
Exactly, and you force Centaurs into a position where you can't necessarily feel comfortable because you're not taking open challenges, so they can get trades off. If he loses armor, utility, all that stuff, then it becomes pretty expensive.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that was...
Oh, well...
He should have had 0 and he got 3 instead, and that makes it all worth his while.
I don't think Kicker will want anybody in the world to have seen that.
No, but that was caught on camera, and you can't really live that one down.
Yeah, that is definitely horrible. At least it doesn't really matter too much, we'll say. We'll say it's around it.
I mean, if your intent was to deny Big from getting an SMG money, you somehow allowed him to get three kills.
That is definitely not the plan, but at least they have got themselves a buy coming into this one. It's going to be the FAMAS on Buster, the rest with good weapons, and JM has an AWP. So, again, we haven't really seen too much of him just yet on the AWP. Perhaps on the CT side is where he can get more work done.
He kind of needs to.
Here comes that A execute I was talking about. Big have it nailed.
And they're going to rely on that a whole lot. There's the Molotov for bench position as well. Now they actually need to move on it, though. Legia is going to creep into the angle of Adren. Quick return from Zentaris. Still no bomb plant, and smokes are about to fade. So they got connector control with Centaurs getting the kill onto Buster, so that should be a safe plant for Big.
Yeah. Big's, I mean, Zentaris in particular is starting to really warm up, which is definitely going to be a scary sign. He's currently on 18 kills. Tizian gets one back as Kicker will drop taps in. Shots coming and whizzing past Big's head. But at this point, AVANGAR realized their economy's in a pretty dire position.
They don't have a defuse kit either, so there's no reason for them to actually really attempt this. So just duck out, be happy with holding on to 2 weapons, see what they can do with it next round. So, AWP remains in the hands of James. That means he could still do something here, while the rest of the investment on the side of AVANGAR might not be the greatest. Even if they decide to drop weapons here, it's not the best of buys. A couple of nades being picked up, so might have a nade stack coming in. Big will just go on their merry way. Have to be aware of the fact that there is 2 weapons saved, so probably not going to rush into anything right off the bat. As we can see, just a little bit back and forth.
If I had to ask you a question, Halvor, do you think Big are going to close this as convincing their player or not? Because for some reason, we see teams get these leads and then it just all crumbles.
I actually think we can close this, mainly because we haven't seen the greatest of play from AVANGAR. They've been fairly lackluster for this being their own map pick.
I think we're going to have to see a bigger performance from Jim. You know, he hasn't really been here on this map, and, well, hasn't had that many opportunities because Big have done such a good job at sort of shutting him away and keeping the economy low. So he has got the AWP. We'll see if he can do anything with it. It's going to be a push in towards the B-bomb site from Big. They start to pressure in. It will be a kill from Sanji. And Dren's on the side as well, and Sanji's doing it all. 2 kills. Xantares will step in with 1, but Big still fighting. They still want to get onto the bomb site, and Xantares is doing it all as Smooya chimes in. It's on Buster and Kicker, the last 2 remaining pistols.
It's not going to be an easy task to retake that. Kicker gets found as he moves in through the doorway of Kitchen, leaves Buster alone. It could have gotten dicey for Big. Ran into the site with 3 players from AVANGAR holding steady. But come out of it unscathed. Buster just hanging out, seeing if he can potentially pick up a weapon once Big, well, try to retreat from the bomb site. If he can actually find the AWP on Jame, that Jame had, that's towards Catwalk though, so it might be a bit of a rough one. Oh, Smooya actually wanted to deny that, and he's going to lose his own AWP for it. Tishian's going to be able to pick it up, but a little bit of an extra loss that Big didn't really foresee. So, 13-6 in favor of Big. New buy coming in from AVANGAR. Jame yet again on the AWP. They're actually going to go directly to that double AWP setup, as we talked about in the forced matchup for AVANGAR. As you see the updated odds from GG.Bet. They really didn't have good control over the Butte site hold. That was the one thing that kept falling through for them, and Buster, outside of having 1 solid round with the AWP, didn't really justify the purchase in a lot of instances. And already, just with the initial smokes being thrown out from side of Big, it's forced the rotation. It's also forced out all the utility, but that's not where Big are heading.
Xantares starting to spray through his head. A lot of potency when it comes to these opening kills, and well, he's tried to do it again here, but he will be caught. It will be a Dren taking that kill. Xantares had a chance to fall, but he still takes the kill. Jim will step in, and Kicker's so low. He's desperately trying to hide on the bin. He's waiting for Jim to come in and be his bodyguard from CT, and if Xantares overextends, he might just fall, but he takes the headshot on towards Jim, and Buster will drop Tabson from short. So again, the advantage is with the CT side, and Kicker, the patience pays off. Xantares will fall, and Lagia, a 1v3, not exactly known for his skill set in this situation, but if he can make it happen for Big, he would be the hero.
Seeing if there's any sort of reaction from Catwalk there. Not going to be found. Buster has an AWP, so he doesn't need to get close. Not yet. AVANGAR playing this wisely. Still an opportunity here for Legia if he can get the drop on Buster. Opens up a whole new avenue of the map, and he still has time to make a rotation if he were to do so through underpass. Kicker gonna give himself up for free. It's down to 2v2. Baits out the shot, but at that point, Sanji is pushed out aggressively. Both ops stay alive for AVANGAR. Very well done, and Big on their ends. Well, they could buy. Xantares and Smooth could drop around weapons, and Smooth's actually going to go directly for that AWP. AVANGAR, though, constantly going back to that double AWP setup, or if they will try to go back to that double AWP setup as well, it's going to cost them a whole lot of money. So whenever they were to lose a round, they might be facing eco, or at the very least a really poor force buy.
Utility goes out. It's 1-4 window as Jame is in behind it. Multiple players jumping across, but of course he can't spot any of them. And Tabson is creeping slowly towards the connector. Well, there's the first kill. Adren, he does hit the deck inside of the connector itself, and Big have got the man advantage. So this is where things start to look a little easier for them. I keep going to say the Germans, but they really aren't at this point. You know, they're majority German, yeah, but
yeah,
it's a little bit important, not? You got 2 players, one from Turkey, one from the UK.
Legia is what? From Serbia? No, I'm not mistaken, yeah. No, but I guess majority German once next joins the team.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of what I keep having to remind myself. But look at this position Tabson has. He's in behind. Jim has no idea.
If he goes wide enough to see Kicker, this is going to win them in the round.
Yeah, this should
just
be
easy
kills.
as that.
Vastly different angles. Does the right call and sort of takes the kill on the left player first and then switches to the AWP. You're not going to be able to react quick enough on that AWP and be accurate.
They're so separated, though, on the side of Big. They had all the time in the world to really focus up and go together, and now they're just getting picked apart instead. And Smoothie is locked inside of Connector. Tabson's going to help him out. It might just be on Tabson to do it all.
And Tabson, he's done it all himself.
He's got another smoke.
4 kills. Flash goes in towards Sanji. They know where he is. And Smoothie crosses over. 25 seconds. Bomb plant can come through, but Sanji's got to walk right through the smoke. Surely they have to think this is a possibility, but there's the kill onto Smoothie. Tabson has to do it all. The 1v1 for the ace clutch, and he looks for it. There it is. The ace from Tabson comes through. Well played. What a run from him.
Yeah, but what around from everyone else on the side of Big? I have no idea what they're talking about as they go through that. Look at how disjointed they are. Tabson's been able to make his way all the way around here, and they're not grouping up as they walk up to through Connector. Tizian gets picked off alone. Smoothie gets caught in a corner, and then he plants in the open when you know the smoke is not going to be covering the entirety of it. Or you should know, at least, with how it was thrown out. So giving plenty of opportunities for AVANGAR to get back into it, but nonetheless, a round is a round. You're going to get the chance to buy up again, and this is the position where AVANGAR feared to be in. Having to force buy to stay off of match point, but all you really have to work with is a bunch of FAMASs and not really a whole lot of utility. I mean, Buster doesn't even have Kevlar. Big, just knowing what to expect. They're going to play passive. In hopes that AVANGAR are going to get aggressive with the limited utility they have. They have been stationed up in middle somewhat aggressively, but they're not going to bring it to the big side. We'll see, though. With enough utility here on the side of Big, they should be able to take mid control rather easily. But they're setting up for the A take, hopefully creating some rotations off of that before the two players move into mid.
Well, it will be a Dren. Dropping taps in. Well, Terrace will step in with one, but can't transfer back up towards short. So Adren will take that one as well. 2 from him, kick it under wood, and there's a chance for him, but the Max 10 will take him away. Lagia finding success as well, and the advantage is pulled right back for Big. This should be map point. Trying to catch them. It is going to be a Dren for his 3rd kill, so he pulls it right back into a doable position for a Vanguard. We've seen heroics from Tabson in the last one for Big. Will it be heroics from a Dren? We kind of talked about him being quiet, but this would be a way to step up. Having an ace, but he also has Sanji, but not has to be the ace. The 1v2 from a Dren. They surely know where he's coming from, or at least have an inkling as the spray comes in. That will give away his position, and Smoothie will drop him off the top of the stairs. Map point for Big here on Mirage, the map pick of a Vanguard.
Yeah, in a pretty dominant fashion as well. Keep in mind, AVANGAR won pistol in the first half. They also won a hell of a lot of rounds that they really had no business of winning. This has just been all about Big for the better part of it. And if they're going to keep this kind of play up, and if AVANGAR are going to look as lackluster as they've done on Mirage, Dust 2 could very easily go in the favor of Big. And that's definitely not something I would have expected, considering how new they are as a team, but credit to them. A rebuy here from AVANGAR, not much more impressive than what they had in the previous one. 2 MP9s, 2 FAMASs, and the Colt on Adren.
So, do or die time for a Vanguard. They haven't really looked alive at all, I have to say. Perhaps things will pick up on Dust 2, even though it is Big's map pick. It's a map a Vanguard can definitely play.
Yeah, absolutely so. But what Vanguard are delivering right now is not really impressing anyone at all.
No. I think Dust 2 is also one of the maps where Jim can have massive performances.
Well, they need to let him get to an AWP, though,
yeah,
at the very
that
least.
has been the problem here on Mirage. He's only had it a few times, and when he has had it, he hasn't really had too much impact either.
It's hard to get into the swing of things when you play an entire half without weapon of choice. Kick here, it's going to move in, but Big couldn't have been more ready for that. Even the backstab. Not getting anything just yet, but alright, does find Legia eventually and does significant damage onto Tabson, but
yeah, at least they know it's going to be an A commit here with every player. There's 25 seconds left. All the players have rotated over towards the bomb site for a Vanguard. 20 seconds. They need to get on towards the bomb site.
Massive gap, though.
Yeah,
oh,
the smoke's gone. That's it. There's no smoke. And Santeras, well, he doesn't care. He'll take the headshot onto Adren. And so it is a 2v4. 9
Bomb's gonna
seconds.
go down. Now they know where Sanji is.
Yeah, job done at this point for Big. They'll be looking for a 6-7 win, and Sanji will do his best to try and come back into it. But this is going to be difficult. The silver lining is they're all low. So, you know, if you just get a wild triple spray, it might be a slight chance, but he's taking damage on board. And Tizian does finish it off. It is a 16-7 win for Big on the map pick of AVANGAR.
Yeah, definitely unexpected, but good showing from Big. And as you talked about, Xantares really heating up as the game got along, sitting at 27 frags, also 7 assists to boot. So he was doing damage left, right, and center. Yeah. Tizian as well, having a really solid performance. Everything you wanted to see really out of Big in that sense. Obviously, I guess the only real complaint you can have is how they fumbled a couple of rounds on the CT side, where you had force buy after force buy from AVANGAR, which really should have been dealt with better. But nonetheless, you win with pretty impressive numbers. Now you go into your own map pick where you had a decent showing yesterday. You can feel good about that, especially if AVANGAR are going to continue to play like they did on Mirage. Then they're not going to be much better than what Hellraisers were in Dust 2.
Yeah, and another thing we could really talk about is Tizian, right? We talk about the main 3 on Big being Smooth, Xantares, and Tabsun, but Tizian was up there at the top with Xantares.
Yeah, 20 frags to his name, and again, he's kind of one of those types of glue players who are never necessarily going to blow your mind from looking at the stats page, but he's always going to be integral to how a team actually functions. He's going to be able to do all the dirt work and pretty much the least fun, I guess, aspects of CS from a spectator point of view, but they're so important for a team to actually function properly.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Big can get done on Dust 2. Will AVANGAR be able to step up and pull this series back, or will Big do it in 2? Join us after the break to find out.